Now that I think about it, there have been a few times in life where I could consider myself truly lucky. Winning the lottery, this tricksy and wicked lottery, is not one of them. On the contrary, it is comparable to being struck by lightning twice when taking your dog for a walk. Of course, I don't speak of the ordinary lottery, where you pick numbers and hope the hollow balls inside the specific machine come out your way, mirroring your 6 number picks. So, you end up winning millions. No, I mean the Hallows Eve lottery I have participated in. A lottery where I was so tragically ignorant of the true nature of the jackpot that I would, eventually, end up winning. As you probably don't know, for the All Hallows Eve lottery, you don't pay with money. You pay with candy. Most specifically, trick-or-treat candy. Most specifically, last year's trick-or-treat candy. I don't know why, I didn't ask, but candy is what I had to offer to pick the numbers, or shall I say, the runes you choose from a list of strange, menacing hieroglyphs, symbols that you take from a papyrus roll with the help of a strange stick of glowing purple chalk, all just before you get your ticket. Before the store clerk, a man with the head of a smiling jack-o'-lantern issues from a curious hand-cranked bronze machine a charcoal black ticket of the same texture as the receipt from a grocery store, but displaying in orange luminescent colors the symbols you chose. There are 49 runes to choose from, but you need only to pick 5, not the same ones, of course. There is another thing. You also have to choose a theme. In other words, you must also choose one of the 6 different creatures of the night: a werewolf, a vampire, a mummy, an alien, a zombie, a witch, or a demon. I chose the werewolf. Indeed, it was a goofy yet quite unsettling depiction of the well-known half-beast, half-man that was displayed in the back of my ticket. I still don't know why I chose the lycanthrope. I shouldn't have. So, after you pay, the pumpkin-head man will give you a freshly issued ticket, and then thank you for your participation. Immediately after that, he will be quickly pulled upwards like a puppet. You will notice the visible strings attached to his extremities pulling him up. Then red curtains will fall and hide the checkout desk that he was once standing behind. Now that I think about it, he was probably no more than a marionette of sorts, doing what a dark, malignant hand had sequenced him to do, just before it pulled him into the same void he came from. Anyhow, once I gave away the pouch full of candy and collected my ticket, I returned home to witness the lottery draw that same night, the 31st of October. Before anything, you may ask yourselves how I discovered this strange lottery and why I decided to participate, despite the bizarre and unsettling setting. Let me explain. Last Halloween, I found out from my ex-girlfriend, a witch, literally, that there is a way to get what you want in life. To have your wish granted, any wish. She mentioned the Hallows Eve lottery and explained the rules. Then again, she was a lying snake. I don't know how I could still trust her. So much so that I bought a ticket with last year's trick-or-treat leftovers. How foolish of me. Anyways, why did I participate? Simple. To be happy. My wish was to be happy. As simple as that. Shortly after I broke up with Sibylle, my parents died in a car accident, and they only left me with grief. I was desperate, so much so that I looked at the calendar. It was weird, but I don't know. I had the feeling I could win, even if mathematically it was a 1 in a 13 million chance, more or less. Back then, it seemed like a way out. And somehow, I won. I saw it on TV, the draw. I don't know if you noticed, but on Halloween night, if you switch channels long enough, you will find the so-called spooky channel. Beware, it is but at midnight that the unholy draw takes place. That fateful night, I saw a tall, anthropomorphic eldritch creature walk under the pale, ghostly moonlight through a dark green field of massive orange pumpkins. He had no head, but several fat, long pink tendrils that moved aggressively in all directions over his body. That creature smashed at random the massive crops. He crushed and gutted 5 pumpkins, to be precise, and from the glowing orange entrails of the squashed vegetables elevated a purple smoke, a smog which formed a bright and visible purple glyph in midair. Over the endless fields, I watched the draw with unmeasurable excitement. When the last symbol matched the one of my ticket, the draw did not end there. The theme had yet to be chosen. It was an eerie scene, watching the eldritch creature shrink and decay. It was a horrible sight. I still don't know how I am still sane after witnessing that horror. After some time, the tall, massive, unsettling mass of grey meat devolved into a blanket of dead skin, where, in the middle of an endless pumpkin field, under the full moon, the large patch of grey meat started moving aggressively. Something wanted out of it. The meat finally ruptured, and from it exited a muscled humanoid creature, a werewolf. Standing tall, it roared in rage to the full moon. I don't know if I heard it right, but just outside of my home came a similar roaring noise. Needless to say, I was terrified. I was shaking. Yet this was just the beginning of my nightmares. Just when I was starting to grasp what had just happened, I heard someone knocking at my door. I reluctantly approached the entrance and slowly opened the door. It revealed a black hooded figure. It did not have a face, just a black hood covering his head and shadow censoring his features. The mysterious figure congratulated me and asked for the ticket. I gave it. Then, from the shadows that was his face, came out a thick, longer than long tongue that licked the ticket. On the spot, the ticket burned. It did not take long until purple flames were consuming the winning voucher. After that, he or she, I have no idea, gave me back a pouch full of candy. My candy from last year's trick-or-treating. The same ones I paid for the ticket. I looked at the pouch and was perplexed. I wanted to ask him if this was a joke, but it unexpectedly vanished. I closed the door, now more angry than scared. All of this for nothing. Brilliant. So, frustrated, I took out a lollipop from the bag and ate it. My sugars were getting low. Then, I blacked out. Can you guess what happened next? I don't think so. So, I woke up in the middle of nowhere, naked. Truly, I never felt so dirty and foul in my whole life. It took me some time to realize what had happened. It took me some tries. Yes, I did try again the cursed sweets. Let me tell you what happened just last night. I have some recollections of the last metamorphosis. Last night, I gobbled up on some gummy bears. Immediately, I felt a rush of energy and some mild pain in my teeth. I also recall witnessing my shadow being slowly transformed into a long, dark cloak that covered my shoulders. That night, my teeth grew into pointy fangs, but so did my confidence, so much so that I invited myself into a prestigious charity gala. I don't remember where, but it was a fundraiser to help the poor kids of Haiti. Ironically, they were not the only ones hungry. Me too. I craved nourishment. I thirsted for blood. Yes, I drained out over 5 people that night and never felt better in my entire life. After serving myself, I transformed myself into a large, dark bat and crisscrossed the moonless sky until I arrived at my home. The view was breathtaking. The next morning, I woke up to the horrible news. You guessed it. Drama at the Food for the Kids gala. 5 young women were reported dead. They all had 2 small incisions in their jugular. Coincidence? I don't think so. I guess you have figured it out, too. The candy transforms me into a Halloween nightmare, just for the night. It is horrible. Just to let you know, the first time I consumed the candy, I turned into a werewolf. Needless to say, the forest is now off limits for the hikers and the campers, at least until they find and kill what they believe to be a man-eating grizzly, the one that slaughtered 8 families last month. And yes, I am aware of the damage that has been done. Usually, it would be easy to deal with my transformations, to fix this situation. Just stop eating that candy, throw it away, and forget about it. I tried. The problem is, I can't stop eating that candy. It tastes so good. It tastes like true happiness. I might even try out the Tootsie Rolls tonight. Thank you for watching. If you want, you should check out Never Sleeps' channel. I will be featured there in the series called Seaside. Of course, it all will be in the description. Have a nice day.